Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNSFANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what's happening with the Cleveland Browns right now is nothing short of fascinating. The NFL offseason is always a whirlwind, but this time, it feels like we're on the edge of a major quarterback shakeup, and the Browns are right in the middle of it. You see, Cleveland has always been a team with high expectations, especially with their recent playoff appearances and the quest to finally bring that elusive Super Bowl trophy back to Ohio. But this offseason, they might be taking a step that could redefine their future, all centered around the quarterback position, which, as you know, is the most critical spot in the league. Right now, the Browns are in a unique situation. They have a roster that's talented enough to compete, with a solid defense and playmakers on offense, but the quarterback spot has been a bit of a question mark. They've got a competition going on that's really heating up, involving some intriguing names. On one side, you have Joe Flacco, the veteran who's been around the league for years, with plenty of playoff experience, but at age 39, he's more of a bridge guy at this point. On the other, you have Kenny Pickett, the young first-round pick from Pittsburgh, trying to establish himself and prove he can be the franchise quarterback for years to come. And then there's Shedeur Sanders, the rookie out of Colorado, who's been making waves in training camp with his impressive arm talent and leadership qualities. Shedeur Sanders, the son of legendary NFL coach Deion Sanders, is a name that's been buzzing around the league, and for good reason. Drafted in the 2025 NFL Draft, he was selected ahead of other notable quarterbacks, and he's already showing flashes of the potential that made him one of the most talked-about prospects this year. His breakout performance in the preseason has caught the attention of everyone, players, coaches, and fans alike. It's not just about arm strength or athleticism. Sanders displays a calm confidence that's rare for a rookie, coupled with a football IQ that suggests he might be the real deal. If he continues on this trajectory, he could challenge Flacco for the starting spot sooner rather than later, which is a huge development for the Browns and their fans. Now, here's the interesting part. According to some reports coming out of NFL circles, the Browns are actually considering the possibility of trading Dillon Gabriel. Yes, you heard that right. Gabriel, the young quarterback who's been showing promise, might be the most expendable of their quarterbacks right now. Why? Well, it's simple. The Browns are in a win-now mode, and they want to maximize their chances of competing at the highest level. If Shedeur Sanders keeps impressing, and if Flacco can hold his own, then Gabriel's value might be at its peak, and other teams could be interested in acquiring him. This isn't just speculation. It's based on reports from Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer, who mentioned that the Browns have received trade offers for Gabriel. Now, keep in mind, Cleveland will likely want to keep all four quarterbacks through training camp and into the season, but that doesn't mean they won't explore options. Gabriel, who's shown flashes of brilliance but still lacks the experience and consistency needed to be the full-time starter, could be moved if a good offer comes along. And let's be honest, with Sanders showing such promise, Gabriel's chances of starting in Cleveland might be slim to none if Sanders continues to develop. Think about it from the Browns' perspective. They've invested in this quarterback competition, and Sanders, the rookie, might be the best long-term solution. Flacco, despite his age, provides veteran stability, but he's more of a stopgap than a franchise quarterback. Pickett, on the other hand, has yet to prove he can be the guy, and Gabriel, while talented, might not fit into their future plans if they believe Sanders is the real deal. So, trading Gabriel for a draft pick or some future assets makes strategic sense for Cleveland, especially if it helps them build a stronger roster around their young quarterback. Now, this kind of shakeup has ripple effects across the league. Other teams are watching this quarterback battle very closely because, in the NFL, the right quarterback can change everything. For example, the Las Vegas Raiders, who already have Geno Smith as their starter, might look at this Browns situation and consider making a move. Smith, at 34, is a reliable passer, and he's been a strong leader for the Raiders. But if Cleveland's trade offers come in, the Raiders or other teams might see an opportunity to snag a young, talented quarterback like Gabriel, someone who could develop into a starter with the right coaching and environment. And speaking of other teams, the Arizona Cardinals are also in a position where they could look to add a quarterback like Gabriel. Kyler Murray, their current starter, is undeniably talented, but he's not quite at the point where he's carrying the team on his back consistently. Murray's injury history and his struggles to elevate the Cardinals into playoff contention mean that they could be interested in a player like Gabriel, who's shown flashes of being a dynamic playmaker. The Cardinals have a young roster with some promising pieces, like their talented tight end Trey McBride and receiver Marvin Harrison, who could flourish with a capable quarterback under center. If a trade for Gabriel happens, it could give them a fresh spark and a potential long-term solution at the position. It's also worth noting the situation with other teams that are looking for immediate help, but also planning for the future. The Los Angeles Rams, for example, with Matthew Stafford battling injuries, are in a precarious spot. Although Stafford's experience and talent are unquestioned, his health is always a concern. Jimmy Garoppolo, who is currently the backup, can step in when needed, but at this stage of his career, he's more of a short-term solution. The Rams might see Gabriel as a perfect fit, a young player they can develop under Sean McVay's quarterback-friendly system, and who could be their future if things go right. And let's not forget about the Arizona Cardinals again, because they're in a similar boat with Kyler Murray. While Murray is undoubtedly talented and deserves a chance to prove himself as the franchise quarterback, there's always that lingering question: can he elevate the team and lead them deep into the playoffs? If the answer is no, then they might consider exploring trades for a young, promising quarterback like Gabriel, who can learn and eventually challenge Murray for the starting role. This kind of healthy competition can only make the team better in the long run. Now, back to the Browns and their immediate plans. The big question is, will they actually trade Gabriel? Or will they hold on to him and see how the preseason unfolds? It's a delicate balance. Cleveland has a lot riding on this season, with expectations high after their recent playoff appearances and the desire to finally make a deep run. If Sanders continues to impress, and if Flacco can manage to lead the team through the early part of the season, then Gabriel's trade value might skyrocket. But if Sanders struggles or gets injured, the Browns might need Gabriel to step in and provide that youthful energy and spark they need. This quarterback competition is fascinating because it really encapsulates the current NFL landscape. Teams looking for that next young star, veterans providing stability, and the constant chess match of trades, drafts, and development. Cleveland, with its mix of young talent and veteran experience, could be on the verge of making a significant move that might shake up the entire AFC North. Imagine a scenario where Sanders takes the reins early in the season and Gabriel is traded for a valuable pick that helps the Browns bolster other positions. That would be a game changer, and it's exactly what many Browns fans are hoping for. But beyond just the quarterback battle, this situation highlights the importance of talent evaluation and the long-term vision of NFL franchises. Cleveland's front office has been aggressive in recent years. They've invested heavily in their roster, brought in key free agents, and now that focus is shifting to the most critical position on the field. If Sanders can develop quickly and become the franchise quarterback they've been searching for, the Browns could be a serious contender in the AFC for years to come. They've already shown flashes of promise, and with the right development, that potential could turn into sustained success. The AFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with teams like the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals always in the mix. The Ravens have a solid roster, especially on defense, and are always a threat with Lamar Jackson when he's healthy. The Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, are emerging as a powerhouse, and their offense is one of the most explosive in the league. So, for Cleveland, making the right moves at quarterback could be the difference between competing for the division title or falling behind in what looks like a very tight race. And let's not forget the history of the Browns, a franchise that has faced many struggles, but also moments of hope and resilience. They've had some great quarterbacks over the years, but nothing has quite clicked long-term. This current quarterback competition might be their best shot at finally finding stability at the position. Sanders' early performances suggest he's got a real shot, And if the Browns can nurture that talent, they might just be on the cusp of something special. Looking ahead, it's essential for Browns fans to keep an eye on how this quarterback battle unfolds in the upcoming preseason and training camp. The decisions made now will shape the team's trajectory for the next several seasons. Will Sanders seize the opportunity? Will Flacco hold onto his veteran edge? Or will Cleveland decide that trading Gabriel is the best move to accelerate their rebuild? All these questions are part of the bigger picture, and fans like you and me are eager to see how it plays out. In the end, the NFL offseason is all about possibilities, and for the Cleveland Browns, the next few weeks could be pivotal. Whether they decide to stick with their current quarterbacks or make a bold trade for a young talent like Gabriel, one thing is clear: the team's future depends heavily on getting the quarterback position right. The fans are excited, the city is optimistic, and the league is watching closely. Cleveland has a chance to finally turn the page and establish a new era of success, but it all starts with this quarterback battle and the decisions that come with it. So, Browns fans, stay tuned, this story is far from over. The next chapter could be written in the coming weeks, and it might just be the one that leads to a deep playoff run or even a Super Bowl appearance. Keep your hopes high, your eyes on the prize, and your support unwavering because this team is on the cusp of something big. And remember, I'll be here to bring you all the latest updates, insights, and analysis, so don't forget to subscribe, share, and be part of this incredible Browns community. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.